Hello everyone. Well, it seems like it's been a while since I had a video on the former royals, and that was not intentional on my part. I actually filmed a video last week that was 40 minutes uncut and then started to edit it and realized that the sound was cutting in and out, something was going on, and it was just not even worth salvaging at that point. I actually said at one point in the video, it was such a beautiful day, I was like, I don't even want to be filming right now. I don't want to film today. So I guess technology decided to play a little prank on me in that scenario. But I did make the most of my time. I actually cleaned out a garage. I've cleaned out my laundry room and reorganized it. And so spring cleaning is in full effect here. I've still got a lot more to accomplish, I hope, but I'm actually going to spread it out throughout the year. It was my New Year's resolution to clean out one thing every week, whether that be a drawer, a closet, a garage, doesn't matter. And I'm sticking to it. I don't normally do resolutions because they are harder to stick to, but this is one that I'm sticking with. So anyway, I hope the weather is good in your area, and I think Mother Nature is drunk here. Sometimes we have gorgeous, almost 80-degree days that I wish the pool was open, and other days, like yesterday, it was so freezing cold that my house actually got down to 63 degrees, I believe, and I was telling my kids, bundle up because it is April and I am not turning that fireplace back on. So anyway, I'm going to kind of skip over what my video was on last week. It's not worth really rehashing it in detail because it's been done now so much. It was mainly about Cintabale and Dr. Chandaka, and my overall view is that Harry seems to have kicked a hornet's nest that he really shouldn't have in this scenario. Dr. Chandaka says she's bringing the receipts, so I am very curious what the courts will reveal if it gets to that stage and see exactly what she has. As far as Cintabale goes, I am wondering why Prince Ciso is not saying anything. I feel like his voice is important in this scenario because he was the co-founder with Harry, and I haven't found anything where he said beyond just they are resigning from their positions. Has anyone even seen the fact that they have resigned? Last I heard, they had just said that they had the intention to resign, and it hasn't actually happened yet. So that's curious as well. But Cintabale itself, I think Dr. Chandaka has her heart in the right place. I don't know if the charity will survive because the sad fact is if you lose, I mean, I don't like to call Harry royal, but Prince Ciso is royal. If you lose big benefactors, founders, even if they're not bringing a lot of money personally to the organization, they are bringing some type of donations in the form of influence in that area. So I think there is a hard road ahead for Cintabale, and I hope that they are able to weather the storm. I feel charities like that are needed, and I really hope for the best in whatever the outcome is. I also kind of touched on the Gwyneth Paltrow video last week. It was sad, wasn't it? I mean, I don't necessarily fault her for what she did because we all know that the Sussex Squad are raging fanatics and they will, Dr. Chandaka is seeing it right now. She's deleted her social media because they are so vitriolic. And I think Gwyneth just saw a way to say, you know what, with one little short video, then I can silence all of this. So I don't necessarily fault her for that. And then I also touched on her is it ShopMy, or whatever the commission account is. And the idea that you go from Buckingham Palace balcony to trying to get a commission off the products that you use, like the lowest form of influencer. And I don't knock influencers for doing that. Get your money, that's fine. But wow, that is a long way to fall. I mean, it really is. If you are connected to actual royalty, you're standing next to Queen Elizabeth, next to the future kings of the UK, and now you are selling your wares. Literally, it is sad when you think about it. But the point of today's video is, as ever, is going live, and the Sun has already done an article that I've seen which amused me, and I'm going to read some of it here because it it was titled Mega Markup. Meghan Markle's signature products go on sale today, including limited edition jar of honey for 22 pounds. Now, 22 pounds in American dollars is $28.47 for a jar of honey. But it's limited edition honey, so I guess that makes it worth the cost. Now, I will say I am lucky enough, blessed enough to be able to afford a $28 jar of honey. So I guess I'm somewhat her target audience in that respect. But here's the thing, I will never buy a $28 jar of honey because, to be blunt, I don't waste my money on that crap. That's why I'm able to afford it, because I don't pay for anything like that. I can go to Walmart and buy a jar of raw honey for about $5 to $8. I could buy the Great Value brand of honey for probably about $4 or less. You know, the kind with the little bear molded out of plastic? Yeah, I'm not that picky about my products that I need a $28 jar of honey for a keepsake that will just end up in my garage to be cleaned out at a later date, because my garage is clean. I'm not throwing anything more in there. So continuing on with the Sun article, Meghan Markle's signature products have gone on sale today, including a limited edition jar of honey for 22 pounds. The pricey range from the Duchess of Sussex's As Ever lifestyle brand coincides with her new Netflix cookery series. I mean, it coincides with it, but it wasn't the best drop for it, considering the cookery series was last month and it didn't even make the top 10 for a solid week in the US, which is really sad because we had things with subtitles at the same time in the top 10. And the fact that she could get no further than 5 and fell out of the top 10 before her first solid week in it was even up, I mean, that kind of says it all, doesn't it? The website boasts how the curated collection promises to bring surprise and delight to every day. Aside from the jam, which is yet to go on sale, all of the items have been listed as being sold out. Well, if that's the case, how many items were there? Because no one besides the Sussex squad was sitting there refreshing this website. Did it just automatically list sold out when it went live and products aren't ready yet? Or were there only 3 to 5 products to begin with per item? It's very suspect. These include flower sprinkles, crepe mix, raspberry spread, herbal tea, and limited edition wildflower honey with honeycomb. With Love, Meghan launched last month on the streaming service and has already been renewed for another season. No, it hasn't. They already filmed extra episodes and they're marketing it as a season 2. Renewed implies that she's going to be back in the kitchen with new guests, pulling new footage, filming new footage, and that's not the case. So season 3 will be what's interesting to see if it actually gets a renewal to film new episodes. A statement said, "This collection offers a glimpse into Meghan's approach to elevated, everyday living and is inspired by her long-lasting love of cooking, entertaining, and hostessing with ease." I don't believe much of any of that, and I will say I hosted something at my house. It's actually somewhat cleaner right now than it normally is because I had to host something this week, and I just don't buy her love of cooking and entertaining. So I don't buy that for a second that this is anything that she really enjoys. This has never been part of her history. It's just part of her rewrite. And she never wanted to be a lady who lunches. She never wanted to be a traditional wife. She was going to modernize the monarchy and kind of mocked everything that came from that. And the TIG, people keep mentioning the TIG was cooking, gardening. No, it wasn't. The TIG was travel. From what we've seen of it, and hardly anyone followed it, don't believe the hype. The only thing that we know about the TIG is what was saved before it was deleted, and it was about travel and food, yes, but food that was ordered and placed in front of her. It goes on to say, as ever brings to life the staples Meghan turns to time and again in her own kitchen and daily life. Designed to infuse warmth, beauty, and intention into daily rituals, this collection marks the beginning of a brand that will continue to evolve with new seasonal offerings, inspired by Meghan's personal essence. As ever, we'll release new product collections seasonally. Well, that remains to be seen, because will it still be around in seasons to come? Ahead of the launch, Meg shared a video yesterday showing her dancing as she stirred pots in the kitchen. Yeah, with her hair dangling over the pots, with the pots on the back burners instead of the front burners, and stirring it in such a way that it was just the top layer being stirred and not the bottom layer that would burn. See, when you actually cook, you kind of recognize these signs. She captioned the video, "From the start to the finish, what an adventure it's been. One more sleep." The camera also panned over the mom of two checking the labels for her As Ever products ahead of their launch tomorrow. And maybe she should have checked a little harder, because what I saw from the As Ever products, there is no cohesiveness to this brand. Some products have gold script, some have black script, some have a printed font in black and or gold. Some have additional wording underneath for descriptors, and it just didn't look very good. You would think it would either all be gold or all the script would be gold, or just pick a theme and stick with it. Don't just randomly label stuff in the fonts and colors that you want. It did not look very good to me. Granted, I only saw a picture on Instagram and I looked at it for less than 30 seconds. That's just what I noticed. Megan has been teasing her sweet preserves for over a year after initially launching American Riviera Orchard. Yeah, she teased the strawberry jam, and somehow strawberry jam evolved into raspberry spread, and she's pretending that that was the original. Raspberry didn't show up until Nacho, whatever his name is, the polo guy, posted a picture of raspberry, what appeared, in my opinion, to take away any type of attention from Catherine's first appearance at Trooping the Color last year. She originally sent 50 jars of the jam to influencer friends and family alongside some homemade dog treats, but the former Suits actress was forced to roll out her rebrand As Ever in February after being hit by a string of setbacks. Yeah, the setbacks were that the trademarks were not in order. Normally, when celebrities are launching a brand, they're going to get everything in line before they ever announce it. And if the media gets wind of it, maybe just tease it and say, well, you'll see what's to come, and that's all that needs to be said. Jam also featured in her 8-part Netflix docuseries with Love Megan as she entertained Hollywood pals and celeb chefs. The celeb chefs, yeah, I'll give her that. But Hollywood pals is kind of pushing it. I recall Mindy Kaling, who I didn't even know her name because I never really watched The Office. And sorry to Office fans, it's a point of contention between me and my husband. He watched it without me, and now I refuse to watch it because he watched it without me. This is marriage. The mom of two's business will also likely feature in her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. Episodes which offer advice and tales from women entrepreneurs will air on April 8th. I will not be listening. I'm going to put that out there right now. I'm sure there will be plenty of footage on social media. Megan revealed the drop in a newsletter and informed shoppers the jam would arrive in keepsake packaging. Well, we all know my thoughts on that already, because I just cleaned out my garage. I don't need more junk to pile into my garage. Of course, you'll find the raspberry spread that started it all. No, it didn't. Strawberry jam started it all, at least from the public perception. Get your lies straight. Presented in keepsake packaging that you can repurpose to tuck away love notes or special treasures and to remember this pivotal moment with me. No one cares about your pivotal moment, Megan. We are done with your rebrands. Everything pivots.
Pivot! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Think of it as our time capsule, Megan added. And by the way, once you've enjoyed every spoonful of this fruit spread, you may want to do what I do. Rinse the jar and use it as a small bud vase for flowers on your nightstand or to hold your pens on your desk. No thanks. Got enough junk. Don't need more. The Duchess also encouraged her followers to follow their inner value, creativity, and joy. You are you, as ever and forever, she continued. In a further inspirational comment, the Netflix star said the biggest risk you can take is deciding not to take one at all. Yeah, when's that going to start, Megan? She once again emphasized the main point highlighted in her show, to make the everyday exceptional. Well, you know what, Megan? Some of us don't want to make the everyday exceptional. Some of us want to just relax and enjoy life. Occasional days can be made exceptional, sure, but as I mentioned earlier, I hosted something this week. I've been cleaning a lot, I've been prepping for that, and today I decided to film a video, but you know what? The video is being filmed with hardly any makeup. My hair is the way it was after it dried after a shower. I'm in one of my favorite, comfiest sweatshirts, and it's a rainy day, and I plan on spending the majority of the day reading a book. So I don't need exceptional in my everyday, and I don't think most people would want exceptional in their everyday. It is understood, it looks like they messed up here. Ever products is what they call them, will likely be sold in Netflix home stores. The streaming giant revealed the first would be branches in Dallas and Pennsylvania. This comes as Megan has also released her own shopping page where fans can buy her wardrobe as her latest money-making venture. She revealed she now has a ShopMy page featuring a hand-picked and curated collection of the things I love. I hope you enjoy them. We won't. They include Heidi Merrick's Windsor gown for an eye-watering 1,068 pounds, and a 600-pound pair of Saint Laurent sandals, a 400-pound necklace, and a 148-pound linen shirt. You know what is similar with all these products besides the high price tags? Is that she wore them already and they did not sell out. Because the Kate effect and the Meghan effect are two very different things. The fact that she wore this Windsor gown last year at one of her faux tours and it still hasn't sold out, even though it's on the Shop My page now, that says a lot. All the clothes and accessories listed have links for followers to click and buy, and Meghan may get money when they do, because after a $100 million Netflix contract, after a massive Spotify deal, even though it got canceled, after Harry's book deal, after Harry's trust funds, after King Charles gave them millions to set themselves up in a new country, the biggest thing that I take from this is that they are desperate for money. They are saying, we need more money. Buy my clothes so that I can make money. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that in the grand scheme of things, but this is so pathetic to go from actual royalty to buy my stuff. So yeah, that'll about do it for my opinions on the launch as it is so far, sold out though it may be. The Sussex Squad was certainly busy with the few products that must have been on the website, if that's the case. And as a personal note, I do want to say that I may not have a video for a while because I actually have an appointment, and I like to be upfront about this because if I do have a video, then I'm actually having a tiny procedure done. It's nothing major. It's actually on my lip. It's every few years I get something, and I forget the name of it. It's benign. You can't even see it, but I can feel it occasionally with my tongue. So every few years I go and just get laser zapped. And they said because of where it is, what it is, it's hard to get the root of it. So it comes back about every 4 or 5 years or so, and it's just starting to bug me. So I am getting that taken care of this week because the healing stage will look like I have a split lip. And I like to say that just in case I film a video because no one would really believe me after the fact. And it's kind of like the story of a black eye. You know, the old saying is that no one ever believes the story of a black eye. And I found that to be true because I've actually had a black eye. And so, yeah, the healing stage takes like 10 to 14 days. So I might just take that time off if anything big happens and I decide to film and you see the appearance of a split lip. Everything's fine. I just can't cover it with anything. I don't really like lipstick or anything anyway. I tend to do like tinted lip balm, and I can't even do that while this is healing. So yeah, I just wanted to fill you in on what was happening. But in my black eye story, it's actually a fun story because I use it on, if you've ever done that icebreaker, 2 truths and a lie, it is a great thing to use for that story because I might be the only person in the world who has ever gotten a black eye alone while vacuuming. True story. Most people are like, how? How is that? Yeah, I did that. So I was very newly married. I think we were not even married a year when this happened, maybe 2 years. And in our first house, if you look behind me, the couch against the wall with the end tables and the lamps, that was the setup in our first house too. So very different furniture, obviously. It's been 20 years, but I was vacuuming and I slung the cord up on the couch because I needed more slack. It was an old house, there weren't a lot of outlets. I pulled it, and to get behind the end tables vacuuming, and pulled the cord taut without meaning to while bending down to vacuum. Well, what happened was our old lamps were iron, and I'm sure a bunch of you were like, ah, yes, I get it now. Because that cord snapped taut, caught the lamp, sent it crashing right into my cheekbone, which thankfully it didn't hit my actual eye or the eye socket or anything, but it did puff up. It bruised quite a bit. So I mean, I had a very clear black eye. And that was back when I worked, and I couldn't really, it was too sore and puffy to cover it. Like, even if I'd covered it, it would have looked weird because, you would have seen that something was wrong. And my poor husband, I don't remember where he was. He was either mowing or he was at work. He wasn't even in the house. And he was so worried about getting blamed for this. Because, like I said, we were newlyweds at the time. Even my family didn't really know him that well because we were newlyweds. And I teased him about that a lot. Poor guy. But yeah, because I was working and I had to be seen in public, no one believed me. I got a black eye vacuuming my own house when no one was home. No one was believing that. Granted, his family believed it, my family believed it, my best friends believed it. That was all that really mattered. But yeah, it was an awkward couple of days while it healed enough for the swelling to go down so I could cover it. But yeah, that's so now anytime I have anything done and I know it will show an injury in any way on my face, I just like to give people a heads up that I'm going to see. So because of that, and because I may or may not film, who knows, but either way, if I'm gone for 2 weeks, that's why. If I show up on a video and I have a split lip, that's why. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you stick around for whenever I do get another video out. I know they're kind of random and sporadic at times. I really need a new location in my house, I think, because I can't really film when anyone's home. So I'll figure it out at some point. But thank you again for watching, and have a lovely day, everyone.